Hello, everyone. My name is Cheryl Everett, and I'm the Gifted Liaison for the Chester County Intermediate Unit, IU24. Today, I would like to provide you with some background information on the two gifted service options available to school districts in Pennsylvania: acceleration and enrichment. Here are some of the key characteristics of gifted learners and the rationale behind why we need to provide these service options for our gifted students. It is amazing to think that the learning rate for a child with an IQ greater than 130 is 8 times faster than a child with an IQ of 70, and that if we do not provide the appropriately specially designed instruction for gifted students by grades 3 to 4, we plant the seeds for underachievement as the child progresses through school. Some might even disagree and say that the seeds are planted much earlier. Doesn't this cartoon reflect the typical experience for many of our gifted students? No Child Left Behind and other state and federal legislation has created an uphill battle for gifted students in terms of their academic needs being met through regular education. Throughout this presentation, I will be referring to acceleration and enrichment as service options and not programming options, because programming allows for less individualization, which conflicts with Chapter 16 regulations. According to Chapter 16, there are 3 service options for gifted students: acceleration, enrichment, or a combination of both. In her book, Strategies for Teaching Gifted Learners, Joyce Van Tassel-Baska states that good programs have a combination of acceleration, enrichment, and out-of-school opportunities. If you do a quick definition check for the term acceleration, this is what you will get. The key terms that stand out for me are earlier and faster pace. For many of our gifted students, both terms are important to meet academic needs. Content must be presented to them earlier than their age mates and at a faster rate than those same peers. Maybe you have heard of some of the reasons to deny access to acceleration options, but research does indicate that these reasons are truly myths. Let me try to give you some information to help you debunk these myths. First, many studies have shown that factors such as family nurturing, role of significant others, and self-perception are more important in determining social and emotional well-being than mere association with chronological age peers. Gifted students do not learn better when learning is controlled and in lockstep with chronological age mates. Acceleration is twice as powerful as enrichment. There is a concern that gifted students will run out of curriculum or have to repeat in later years because of early exposure to advanced level work. This myth is perpetuated because we do not develop K-12 curriculum plans for these students, plans which would allow for early graduation. When I read the information on this slide, I want to ask this question: how many of you know of underachievers that might have benefited from acceleration? Subject area acceleration is one option. Karen Rogers' research on gifted service options has yielded the effect sizes you see on this slide for the various types of subject area acceleration. For example, early entrance to kindergarten has an effect size of 0.50. This means that students who entered kindergarten early showed an academic growth rate of 1.5, or they grew 1.5 years instead of the normal expectation of growth, which is 1 year for each year of schooling. Think of the PVOS growth expectation for students: 1 year of growth for each year in school. Effect sizes of 0.30 or higher are considered a substantial gain. Looking through these options, compacted curriculum appears to demonstrate the highest rate of academic growth. On a side note, if you see a type without an effect size, it is because Dr. Rogers was unable to collect sufficient data on the type to determine the effect size statistic for identified gifted students. It does not mean the type of acceleration is not beneficial. The teacher plays a crucial role in helping the child adjust with early entrance acceleration. Compacting should be considered for most gifted children in grade 3 and above. Once advanced classes can be chosen, compacting may be able to disappear. Anxiety level actually declines with single subject acceleration. Talent search programs have been found to be very beneficial for students in small or rural communities. AP and IB are the only national and international tests that have not been dumbed down since their inception. AP courses taken at a lower grade level than normal are very wise options and demonstrate true acceleration. Mentorships do not occur until a student has exhausted what the current school system has to offer in an area of intense student interest. This opportunity should move the student forward in learning. Prior to a mentorship, the student should be taught interviewing, study, and communication skills. A suggestion for a post-secondary option for gifted students is to award simultaneous high school and college credit. Here is some more data on different types of acceleration options and their effect sizes. Testing out of a course to enter the next level seems to have the highest impact for gifted students. Early admission to college has been shown to have no effect on socialization. Grade skipping is more frequently considered in the early school years, but it could happen when a child transitions to a new building. This type of acceleration is the more cost-effective, but seems to have the worst reputation. There is a small gain in self-esteem with grade skipping, and the child is more likely to have friends because the older students have similar interests and are more socially mature. The Iowa Acceleration Scale is important to use for supporting grade skipping. Proper implementation is crucial to the success of multi-grade classes. Telescoping requires a district to look at curriculum for the amount of repetition, the practices used for already mastered skills and concepts, and methods to increase the pace of learning so that no gaps in learning occur. It is especially effective when a small group of gifted or advanced students work through the curriculum together. Testing out could create small concerns with socialization and psychological adjustment due to the fact that a student may feel the need to study more to keep up and maintain high grades. This student may need a supervisor to coordinate information from subject area teachers, to provide feedback to the student, and to ensure the student is working up to speed. There is definitely a need to provide this student with a social outlet during school time. It's important that the student is not isolated from regular contact with peers. The student may also need a counselor to monitor social development and participation in school activities. This information about the social and emotional effects of one type of acceleration, mentorships, is very affirming. Look at the effect sizes. Remember, 0.3 or higher indicates a substantial gain. In conclusion, any type of acceleration produces academic gain. The other gifted service option we want to explore in more detail is enrichment. Here is the dictionary definition for this term. Most teachers will tell you they provide this option for their gifted and advanced students. But do they really? A word of caution about enrichment: it is usually inadequate in meeting gifted students' academic needs. When speaking about exposure beyond the regular curriculum, to be successful, it must be based on an individual gifted student's interest, and the exposure must consist of new concepts, ideas, and skills never before encountered. Extension of the regular curriculum is probably the most easily accomplished, more breadth and depth of concepts in the already established curriculum. Concept development means the exploration of the meaning and implications of a concept within regular curriculum, and truly the cultivation of higher order thinking skills, not just more of the same. Many times we provide enrichment options as shown on the last slide in a pull-out program. Here are some crucial questions to ask, though, as you plan your pull-out curriculum. Is this an activity every child should be doing? Is this an activity every child would like to do? Is this an activity that every child is capable of doing? If you can answer yes to any of these questions, especially the third question, then you are not really providing true enrichment for gifted students. Another important point to make is that research does indicate that unless pull-out program activities are intimately tied to curriculum taught in the regular education setting, they have little to no effect on the academic growth of gifted students. Listed on this slide, you will see some of the different types of enrichment that can provide true academic growth for gifted students. These are not new ideas. These probably describe the gifted service types provided in many of your schools. The caveat to these options goes back to the 3 questions slide. In particular, the question, is this an activity every child is capable of doing? Enrichment that will yield real academic gains must be based on individual student present levels and learning style. Here are some gifted service options offered throughout Pennsylvania as compiled by Jim LaJudas in 2009. The fact that I'm showing you these slides does not indicate an endorsement of their content. They are provided to give you some suggestions or ideas for your school. When conducting a compliance monitoring in a school district, Dr. Curl, PDE's Gifted Compliance Monitoring Advisor and Gifted Advisor, looks for differentiation in regular education classrooms as opposed to enrichment options. Acceleration strategies are also encouraged. Here are a few other important facts in regards to gifted service options. None of what is being shown here should be of any new information to you. Take a few moments now to reflect on this presentation. What are your thoughts on these gifted service options? Where does your school fit? What options could be offered that are not? Are you in compliance with Chapter 16? The references I have provided on this slide were invaluable to my research. They would certainly aid your continued study of gifted service options. Thank you for your attention. Have a wonderful rest of your day.